325 laps, 500 miles on one of NASCAR's fastest tracks. We're underway in Atlanta.
Wow, a lot of cars look like they got a little wheel spin there, BP, on the start with this racetrack being green.
Yeah,
on the tires.
I wondered, did Casey Mears go to the outside and jump the start?
He most certainly did, BP. Black flag coming up for Casey Mears.
You have to stay behind the car in front of you on the green flag. You can go to the outside and pass on restarts on the caution, but on that green flag, you just got to stay there. Look at him, 3 wide off 4.
Ryan Newman leads lap 1. Bobby Labonte second. Dale Jr. third. Bill Elliott fourth. Brian Vickers and Joe Nemechek run 5th and 6th. 3 wide behind him for 7th. That's Casey Mears riding that rim, and he's got to find a way to the bottom to serve that black flag penalty. He's got to get to pit road.
Yeah, it's going to be that's going to be tough for him to do. He's got a lot of cars underneath him right now, so he's better off just getting up on that high line and getting out of the gas. So all these cars will pass him so he can get pit lane, because after a couple laps they're going to stop scoring him. Now he's down to the bottom, so he'll come in this lap.
Elliott Sadler just came out of the, Dale Jarrett just came out of the gas in the middle of the pack and brought to the end of the field. Follow up on that in a minute from pit road, but the 88 car's off the pace.
And look carefully, folks, because that's probably the last time you'll see the 15 that low on the racetrack. Once again, Tony Stewart goes 3 wide.
Oh man, he's flying. Tony Stewart started 24th. He just took 12th place away from Michael Waltrip, and about to take 11th away from Brian Vickers. Bill?
And just a note about Brian Vickers, his car's a little tight, just his second Winston Cup start, but he's having trouble on the restarts because the transmission is not geared like his Busch car, so he's learning by doing now in the Winston Cup Series.
I think he's going to learn by doing a lot. For this.
Yeah, I think he's learning a lot about aerodynamics right now, too, because these guys in Cup, there's so many competitive cars, and if they see a rookie out there, they're going to go and try to get him loose. They're going to mess with him
for the lead.
How about that 29 car going by Junior Harvick to second place?
Junior got right up behind Ryan Newman, but kind of hesitated with trying to cut underneath him, and Harvick went right around Junior on the outside off of 2.
And no hesitating for the lead for Harvick.
First lead change of the race, Kevin Harvick out front. Very impressive. And you know, with this weather around, you just sense a little urgency on the part of all these guys when you were down there this morning. They all know that there's no wasting any time.
That's exactly the way Tony Stewart was racing, like, hey, this thing's going to end in 5 laps. I got to get to the front. Dave, what are they saying about Junior's car?
Well, you just saw him pass Ryan Newman on the inside for second. Wally was talking about how these cars are so good on the bottom on new tires, and that was Junior's chosen line. They told him, hey, other guys like Michael Waltrip and Tony Stewart, they're getting by on the outside, coming up through the pack, but Junior, you know where you need to run, and so far, he's been doing it on the bottom. Bill?
Very quiet on Kevin Harvick's radio. No communication, similar to what they had last week. They only wanted to talk about things when it was important. This morning, I talked to his crew chief, Todd Berrier, and his car owner, Richard Childress. I said, you have a mathematical plan to try and catch Kenseth by getting it within so many points by Homestead. Childress and Berrier both said no. Childress said he told his team, do what you've done to get here and keep your eye on the ball. That's always been my philosophy. Let's see if it works for him this year.
Exactly. Came out of the back bumper, and Brian Vickers is the guy who ran the back of Bill.
A lot of chatter on the NASCAR radio back and forth about raindrops. NASCAR race director David Hoots talking to his spotters out in turns 2 and turn 3, and the caution's coming out for rain.
Caution's out.
Second caution, 50 miles into the race, 32 laps. And this one for Mother Nature. If you're new to NASCAR and you're not familiar with NASCAR rules, all this talk about rain and halfway and so forth, once the leader has completed half of the scheduled race distance, if weather interferes with the race and NASCAR doesn't see conditions that would allow it to be concluded for the remainder of the day, they can call it an official race at that point. But that's after the leader's completed the halfway point of the race. We're nowhere close to that right now. 50 miles into 500.
There's Kenny Schraders. He eases around with some sponsorship this weekend. Robbie Gordon on board with him. There's Matt Kenseth talking to his crew.
Yeah, Matt's already moved up into the top 20, 18th place from 37th starting spot. You talk about the restart where Brian Vickers got into the back of Bill Elliott. Here's another look at it.
He's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th car in line there.
Yep.
Right there, you see, get back of Bill. Bill gets a little bit sideways.
And Kevin Harvick jumps out to the right, which is a legal pass on a restart.
Right.
And there's the piece flying off, the back bumper.
Unfortunately, that when he hit Bill Elliott, there's a bunch of metal behind that fiberglass bumper, and it put a hole in the radiator.
And just a quick explanation on what Vickers meant when he said somebody brake checked the rest of the field.
Yeah, I don't think anybody really brake checked. I think what happened was the restart was late. I think somebody anticipated it for Ryan to start, and he didn't, so he had to get back off the gas, and the guys behind them anticipated, and it's just an accordion deal.
Here come the leaders onto pit road, Bill.
Kevin Harvick leading the race and chasing Matt Kenseth in the championship standings. The car just a little bit. He underscored just a little bit tight. 4 tires and fuel, no chassis adjustments, Matt.
Bobby Labonte already in. His car had stabilized on a scale of 1 to 10. He said it was tight on a scale of 3. A slight air pressure adjustment on the 18 car. That's it, Dave.
Very slight adjustments needed on Dale Jr.'s car as well. Just a little free in, a little tied off. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment to accommodate that. Change 4 tires and try to win the race off of pit road. He came in second. He will not win it.
Kevin Harvick out first, Bobby Labonte, then Bill Elliott, then Tony Raines, who I'm not sure if he missed his pit or just took a couple of tires.
I believe he did. He was a real close call with one of those cars. I couldn't tell if it was Busch.
Marty, you have the answer to that for me?
What happened, Alan, was when Kurt Busch left his pits, he hit Tony Raines and literally pushed him past his pit. So there may be some right front fender damage on the 97 car. That could be the bigger implication for those guys. That would really hurt their aerodynamics. Tony Raines will have to come back down pit road and pit this time.
Because he has a left rear tire flat.
Probably from the contact with Kurt Busch.
Be a good guess.
Watch here when Kurt Busch comes out, the yellow car right there gets into the left rear of Tony Raines, turns him in to him.
Now watch the damage.
And then see the damage on the corner right there. So I don't know if they're going to pull him in and fix that or not.
What they might ought to.
And that all comes back to the importance of qualifying well. Talking about picking those pit stalls, they're picked in the order you qualify. The fastest qualifier gets the first pick.
And there is some bad news. It looks like the rain is picking up substantially as we see it hitting the roof camera on board Matt Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth in 21st position after the pit stops. And yeah, the rain is getting heavier, and NASCAR has just closed the pit lane, which probably means
they're going to red flag the race. And we've been seeing way too much contact on pit road. Remember at Talladega when Archie Kennedy, the jackman for Jeff Green, the 43 car, got knocked on off his feet.
And you know, these pit boxes, like from where we're looking at them, they look like there's a lot of room. But when you're sitting in a car and you got to drive around a car and crew guys that are changing tires, get in your box and get it straight so you don't get blocked in, there's not that much room down there.
There really isn't. So I think that NASCAR has to look at limiting the amount of cars on pit road. Right now we just can't accommodate 40 cars at a time. That's too many.
So what do you propose doing about it?
Well, I would say that we go to look at all these cars. Cars coming in, cars trying to get to pit. Tony Raines trying to get to his pits, makes contact with Kurt Busch. Now Kurt Busch's car is injured. What I suggest to do is limit the amount of cars on pit road. Go to the score and monitor, and only the top 20 cars can pit the first time by. The next time, let the next 20 cars pit.
The argument against that would be is if you're in 21st and you want to come in and change 2 tires and try to get a bunch of track position, I'm not going to be able to do it.
That's right. I would say to you, qualify better next time.
But it's not. It may not be qualifying. You may have a flat tire. You may have anything that goes wrong that doesn't have anything to do with qualifying or whatever. You may have a problem. You may get put back in that position. Well, now you're penalized because you're back there. For whatever reason you're back there, you can't make that ground up on a pit stop.
On a 2-tire stop. I understand that. But again, it is just too dangerous for those individuals on pit road, is my opinion.
A lot of individuals on pit road now as they brought the field down and put the race under the red flag and starting to cover the cars up here. As the rain has fallen and stopped this thing just after 50 miles here in Atlanta. Red flag is out. Tell you what, for a Monday, look at the people that are here in Atlanta. And they're all standing up as the cars come down to restart this race.
And green, green, green.
Todd Bodine's in the wall, and there's more spinning in the traffic jam behind him. Kevin LePage has gone around. Oh! Kenny Wallace there with contact.
Yeah, he just jumped over somebody. You know, I don't know who it was, but on that restart, I was watching Todd Bodine and another car go through the corner, and they were very, very close to each other. And when you run that close together through the corners, the guy in the bottom gets loose. We'll have to see if we can get back to that replay, but we talked about green racetrack.
Yeah.
Slippery.
Kenseth get some damage, Bill?
Hey, on the radio says I was in it. May just be sheet metal, but look for him to come down pit road when it's open. They can't see the car yet.
Left rear corner folded up under a little bit. It doesn't look like anything major, Bill. Front fenders are intact.
I got to look at it as it went down the front stretch. They're talking about it on the radio. Robbie said I might want to look at it one more time before you come in.
Only area of concern might be where they put the fuel into the car. They'll have to take a look at that.
See those two cars I was talking about? See how he's on the bottom? Or actually, the car on the bottom got loose and got into Todd Bodine.
Yeah, that's Michael Waltrip.
Yep. So Michael, when you run this close through the corners like that, you really, the aerodynamics on that car on the bottom of the racetrack isn't there. And now these other guys get just caught up with everybody checking up.
Yeah, it looked like Kenny Wallace went up over the top of Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s right rear. Top of the screen, right-hand side.
Yeah, Michael was just saving his race car. Got into the back of Todd Bodine.
And now in the jam up, somewhere in there, Matt Kenseth gets run into from behind. See Hamilton Jr. and Kenny Wallace there.
Yeah.
This is Mark Martin's view.
Oh, talk about threading the needle.
Around, buddy. Stay low. Good job.
Let me just update. Kenseth is back in 39th because Sterling Marlin and Kenny Wallace came off the pit lane after him for further repairs. So we'll keep an eye on Matt here in these few laps of racing and see how he progresses up through the field. Up front, Bobby Labonte and Bill Elliott trying to put some pressure on Kevin Harvick.
I think they're all feeling out the racetrack still a little bit, making sure that grip is there.
Farther back, first side-by-side racing, Dave Blaney and Greg Biffle. 77 and 16, that's for 13th place. Ricky Craven searching out the high line already.
Yeah, both times on the restart, Ricky's gone to the top right away.
32 cars, Craven. He's kind of like Michael Waltrip. We talk about Michael being one of the first to search the high line out, but Craven's usually right there, right behind him.
Yeah. Ooh.
Whoa, a little too high.
This is a racetrack that you have to search because your car's never going to be perfect here. You're going so fast around this racetrack, and there is a bottom and a middle, and also a high line. And you have to, every once in a while, you have to start looking around the racetrack to see where your car is going to run fast. And you have a guy telling you your times, but you can tell by looking in the mirror. You know, if you run a line and look in the mirror, that guy that was following you is closer, well, I better try something different.
That wasn't it.
That wasn't it.
Robbie Gordon took 15th place from John Andretti a minute ago. Saw that in the singular car. And here's Bobby Labonte, 6-time Atlanta winner, trying to get the lead from Kevin Harvick. It's uncanny the success that Labonte's had, especially since this track was reconfigured to this layout for the fall 1997 race. He's won 5 times here in 12 races.
That's amazing. Kind of both trying to run the low line. Harvick going to go in a little bit higher than Bobby that time.
And behind him, Tony Stewart on Bill Elliott for third place as Labonte goes for the lead on Harvick. Shaping up like a Joe Gibbs kind of day in the early laps.
Yeah, looks like he got behind Harvick, got Harvick a little bit loose there in 3 and 4. Just enough to get him up the racetrack so Bobby could turn underneath and make a pass.
So Labonte, the new leader, Matt.
Bobby really hasn't said a whole lot on the radio, Alan, but his crew chief, Michael Fatback McSwain, talking to engineer Brandon Thomas, using his hands and smiling, just showing how strong that 18 car was compared to the 29 on entry into the corner, and especially on exit, how much room he gained as his teammate, Tony Stewart, starting to work Kevin Harvick as well.
Todd is real frustrated right now, and you have to be. I mean, you waited all day, all night, go out. Something like that happens right away. And Todd runs this racetrack really well. This is one of his best racetracks. He really gets around this place great. So it's real disappointing.
Ryan Newman's not getting around here very well right now. After starting on the pole, he just got shuffled back to 10th spot by Jeremy Mayfield. And ahead of him, Jimmy Johnson to the outside of Jimmy Spencer. And that's going to be for 7th place. And a change for the lead among teammates.
What's the lead amongst friends?
Tony Stewart and Bobby Labonte changing the top spot. Joe Gibbs Racing out in front early in the Bass Pro Shops MBNA 500.
Matt is clicking off some really good laps.
Hey, you know, we talked about the importance of the team members and so on. In a crisis situation, minimizing the damage like that, the repairs to the crush panel and so on, that's how you win championships. How you play your bad shots, as BP likes to say. Jeff Gordon on pit road, Bill.
Jeff Gordon is on pit road. His car is free in, tied off, 4 tires and fuel. Kevin Harvick, who's been slipping backwards through the field, is also on pit road. We told you how his car was tightening up through the turns, wedge adjustment, 4 tires and fuel, waiting to see if they try and pull that left front fender out a little bit. Waiting on the left front tire. Now they put a rear end for slow stop.
Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s been in, Robbie Gordon's been in, Ken Schrader's been in. And now more cars coming onto pit road off of turn 4. Dave?
Actually, Robbie Gordon just came in, Alan. Pushing like a dump truck was the way Robbie described it. They'll give him a chassis adjustment to help fix that. Also air pressure, 4 tires all the way around. Matty?
The wedge ran charting the back window of Bill Elliott's Dodge. The car yesterday was tight in the center. Today is tight on exit. Is the left side tires going on, Dave?
Johnson, his car had a real small line he could drive in, but he still wanted a little chassis help as well. If he overdrove it, he pushed a nose. John Andretti in as well, tight on throttle. Matt?
Both Gibbs cars on pit road. Tony Stewart calling for an air pressure adjustment in the right rear. His car, he said, was a little bit nervous on exit, meaning it was a little bit free. Meanwhile, his teammate Bobby Labonte in as well. His car running very well. Going to make an air pressure adjustment in the front tires only. Service complete for Labonte.
12 car of Ryan Newman coming in now. Wicked tight in the middle earlier. He's also been complaining of a vibration. He did not think it was the motor. They're going to make a track bar and a wedge adjustment to try to help Ryan change 4 tires as well. The engine not running the way he thinks it should today down the straightaways even. So a myriad of problems for Ryan Newman, but none that are putting him in jeopardy yet. He leaves pit road.
Round of pit stops continue. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the leader, not yet having come onto the pit lane, so that's bonus points for him toward the championship. Now Jr. slowing off turn 4 at trouble. Ricky Rudd gets spun around through the grass. No caution yet. No caution yet. Now the caution comes out.
The lights were on long before the flag came out.
Well, I'll tell you what might explain that, Bill. I monitor NASCAR's race control radio, and I did not hear them call for the caution, but they control the lights from the control tower usually at most of these racetracks. Dave?
And Junior was already on pit road. They said, you want to pit anyway? They said, yep, let's just get it done. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment for him. Too loose in, tight in the center, but good off the corners. And now he stalls the car. Tough to get these cars off pit lane with those high gears.
And Ricky Rudd is stuck.
Yep.
With all this rain and everything.
He's going to need some help.
Yeah. Oh, man. The car probably didn't have that much damage, but he's going to go. He's going to go a lap or 2 down because of this. Now let's see if we can get the wrecker stuck.
And the caution came during a series of green flag pit stops that have jumbled up the field. Bill, the cars of Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick have just been waved past the pace car, and now they're on pit road.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about the scoring when the caution came out, who got back on the lead lap, but right now Harvick on pit road after they got the wave by, getting 4 tires and fuel. Again, they're going to try and pull that left front fender out. This is a little better stop, and Harvick's on his way.
Jeff Gordon in, Jimmy Spencer in, Ricky Rudd and Sterling Marlin also in along with Scott Wimmer.
What they're trying to do is they're trying to pull that left front fender out to give that car more front downforce.
Kurt Busch was the leader at the time of the caution.
Spin off of 4.
Okay, now watch for lights. You don't see any yellow lights blinking.
That one inside.
So you got to stay on the gas here. There he passes the 7 car. But because there was no yellow, he was running hard. So the lucky dog goes to
Bill Elliott. Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick were in front of Kurt Busch when NASCAR has ruled that the caution came out. So let me see if I can sort this all out for you. We have 32 cars on the lead lap, and the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr., I got to count here because this is, let's see, 2, 4, 6. He is 8th in line on the racetrack in that outside lane. So he's got 7 cars on the tail end of the lead lap in front of him, plus another group of cars on the tail end of the lead lap on that inside lane in front of him. All those cars in front of the 8 are now tail end of the lead lap, and they're trying to reposition Robbie Gordon.
They better hurry.
And we're back racing. The penalty for Kurt Busch for not slowing down quick enough when the caution came out was tail end of the longest line for the restart. So that puts him back to 17th place.
Okay, now we got a lot of guys out there behind the wheel that are not very happy.
So we keep an eye on Dale Jr. that's way back in the line of cars, and all these guys hoping for a quick caution so they get a 1.5 mile free pass to come back around and rejoin the tail end of the field. Marty?
Alan and Wally, you can imagine Jimmy Finning's frustration. What was their explanation to you, and what did Kurt say about it?
I guess we advanced 2 positions, but I believe the other 2 guys slowed up before the yellow come out. They backed off. Even Jeff Gordon admitted he slowed up before the yellow come off.
Jimmy, very hot. NASCAR has told the 97 team, we'll provide you videotape that will prove what our case is. Matt?
And Tommy Baldwin spent a lot of time under that caution pleading your case. Tommy, what did NASCAR tell you?
I mean, they don't make any sense. They said we were the beneficiary. Okay, we have to come in and pit because everybody else does. We pitted. Then they told us we weren't the beneficiary, so we lost like 15 spots. If we weren't, I would have stayed on the tail end of the lead lap, been the first car behind the pace car, and been in the lead lap. You know, they screwed me.
We saw this in the earlier long green flag run where the farther they went, it seemed like the better Tony's car got against the competition.
Both on the white line. Cars are real even through turns 3 and 4.
Last 4 Atlanta finishes for Tony Stewart. 9th, 1st, 4th, 5th, led all 4.
There he is. Stewart can run down a little bit lower in 1 and 2, and that's all it took.
So second time today, Tony Stewart is out in front, reclaims the lead from Dale Earnhardt Jr. at lap 128. Trouble turn 4. Dave Blaney is spun around. Caution flag is out. He's hit the wall. Caution number 8. And that wet grass down to the inside going to be tough to get out of.
Yeah, he's a dirt tracker.
Yeah, that's true.
Get out of it.
So 77 car in some trouble here, and it puts out the caution. Ooh, Kevin Harvick, get a piece of that. Yeah,
looks like some damage there. I don't know if that's from the 77 car, but it could be.
Harvick running in 7th place right now. And Jeremy Mayfield is going to be your lucky dog. Let's find out what happened to Dave Blaney.
Yep.
Yes, he did. So mark that one down as important in the championship, because if Harvick has to spend any kind of extra time on pit road to get that fender fixed, he's going to lose the track position advantage he has on Kenseth. Oh, and it just happened right in front of him.
Yeah, Harvick had no place to go.
Nice job by Joe Nemechek to get down on the apron and avoid Blaney's car. Blaney in for repairs. Now, this is with 125 laps to go. So that really puts fuel in kind of an interesting thing. If people come in and take on gas here, if they can run 65 laps, they're good to go on one more stop, but not everybody can do that.
Right.
This too shall factor in. Here come leaders to the opening of pit road as Blaney leaves. Tony Stewart, Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Kurt Busch, and Bill Elliott, your first 5 in. Go ahead, Bill.
Gordon with a great race car, said it got just a little loose. He adjusted for that with his driving style. They're going to try and add a piece of tape to the front of the grill because it's running a little cool. It's 4 tires and fuel, and they said pack it, Matt.
Tony Stewart stopped short for an easy exit around the 9-car Bill Elliott. Jeff Gooch Patterson already makes the wedge adjustment, a slight wedge adjustment. The car was free, Marty.
Tight end, loose off for Kurt Busch in the 97 car. A 1/4 pound in the right rear tire. Half round up on the track bar. Dave?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. said absolutely nothing on the radio since diving on pit road that last time. This time he merely said, car's good, give me 4.
Wow, Stewart.
First to fourth for Tony Stewart.
Fourth, yeah.
Jimmy Spencer led for a couple of laps under caution. He missed his pit when he came down for his stop. Now just came back in to get his service. He's back in 21st place, last on the lead lap. Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte, Kurt Busch, and Tony Stewart, the top 4. See if Stewart can make any quick progress up through the traffic.
Labonte's got to run off of turn 2. Wow. Look high.
For the race lead, Bobby Labonte and Jeff Gordon fought for the win in the March race here. Labonte with an outside pass on Jeff Gordon with about 11 laps to go to get the win.
I wonder if Gordon had any problem with that carburetor like Bill Weber was mentioning earlier on that restart.
The stumble when he hit high gear?
The stumble in high gear, because I'll tell you what, off of turn 2, Labonte was a lot faster than 24 car Jeff Gordon.
I didn't hear him say anything that time, Wally, but I'll go double check for you.
Well, he is motoring away. I talked to Fatback this morning. They really look at 2003 as 2 seasons. From Daytona through Daytona, 10 top 5 finishes, but their momentum shifted at Chicago when they lost the car that won with here in the spring. We've got a crash.
Turn 1 and 2. Steve Park with a heavy impact. Earlier in the race, Park had a fender rub on his left front tire, though we hadn't seen it smoking lately. Boy, he shortened up the right side of that car.
Yes, he did. I see broken rotors and pieces like that sliding down the racetrack.
Steve dropping the window net. Good to see.
You're not going to crash soft here.
9th caution of this race.
Something definitely broke on that car. Hard to tell from that angle, but the car shoots up the racetrack like that, and I think we even see some sparks there before he hit the wall.
Go on board Ken Schrader's car for another look. He and Steve racing for a spot here.
Okay, he just hit the wall hard, yellow's out.
Yeah,
Still got one on your outside, clear all around.
The left front tire was either flat or something happened, and that's where that rub was earlier in the race.
Here come the leaders with 101 laps to go. Bill?
Gordon's on, just a little loose. Quarter round down on the track bar, 4 tires, fuel, he'll be on his way. Matt.
An easy stop for Bobby Labonte. So the car was just a tick free, but it's been the best that it has been all day. So no changes for the 18, Marty.
Started tight, little loose now for Kurt Busch. They put the quarter pound back in the right front. He is not happy with the engine, however, Matt. Dave?
Junior said we're getting a little better, Car is good. Same thing, guys.
What happened on the 20?
And Tony Stewart's been in there for a long time. Look at him, we still haven't seen him yet. That's Tony way in the back of the field, just coming towards you now.
Yeah, right there.
Find your
hit out. I know. Well, you didn't put it back when you used it last.
I'm sorry.
They had problems in the left rear, it looked like.
So we've got 22 cars on the lead lap. Ward Burton was the lucky dog on this caution. And Kurt Busch with a big jump to the outside of Jimmy Johnson on the restart. That's going to be for 6th place. 3 wide into turn 1. Jeff Gordon leads. Bobby Labonte 2nd. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 3rd. Ronnie Gordon 4th. Bill Elliott is 5th. Then Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson racing for 6th and 7th, followed by Elliott Sadler, Ryan Newman, and Matt Kenseth, 16th to 10th on his pit stop. Tony Stewart restarted 16th.
Boy, he's got a bunch of cars in front of him right now, running side by side. Cannot get through. Matt?
Wally, right before that restart, Tony Stewart keyed the mic and said, boys, get a good seat on the wall. You are about to see a heck of a show. We're going to the front.
He did. He just split 2 cars coming off of turn 2.
Driving in anger. So Tony Stewart there, past Dale Jarrett. That'll move him up to 13th. And the next car in front of him for a spot is Jimmy Spencer in the 7. As we look at the race for the lead, Bobby Labonte with a peek inside of Jeff Gordon.
Got him.
And here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Labonte's got to go because he knows his teammate's got a really fast race car, and he knows it's fast at the end of the run.
I don't think he's worried about his teammate yet. He's got that red car right in his rearview mirror that's come back through traffic. Whoa, Junior with a little slide there. Driver 8 finished 2nd here in the spring race of 2002. His last 4 Atlanta finishes for Dale Jr. 7th, 2nd, 5th, 3rd. He's led them all. He started 37th in March when he finished 3rd.
Goes to the bottom. I don't think he's going to have enough. Nope. Falls back in line.
Earnhardt Jr. led 4 times today for 28 laps. Last time he was out in front was back at lap 153. And that was during an exchange of pit stops. Last time he led any duration was at lap 105 to 128.
Looks like Bobby might be searching a little bit. The last couple laps he's tried different lanes.
Jimmy Johnson got it moving. We saw him racing with Kurt Busch a minute ago. He's passed him. He's passed Robbie Gordon. And now he's working on his teammate and co-owner Jeff Gordon for 3rd. So that 48 car is coming alive here late in the race. Really haven't talked a whole lot about Jimmy Johnson today, Dave. Kind of been a stealth race for him.
And remember when he was out on the tail end of the lead lap, staying ahead of Tony Stewart for so long, the car was very good. The last pit stop, just a little bit tight but fast. They made a minor air pressure adjustment to help him.
That's right. Johnson, one of those guys caught just after pitting under green when the caution came out at lap 104. He restarted tail end of the lead lap and stayed in front of the then leader until he got another caution and came back around.
Just can't pull out the pass. Jeff Gordon on that high line had just enough momentum getting off the corner that Jimmy Johnson can't make the pass clean. That Jimmy's just going to tuck in behind him and take another run at him. Gordon goes up the middle, and Jeff's doing the same thing that Bobby Labonte, when he's looking around, trying to find some grip as Johnson gets underneath him again. Now here's the key. Jeff's got to be able to stay up alongside him enough as he goes through 1 and 2. If he can, he'll have a little bit of an advantage getting off of turn 2.
Upper frame there is Tony Stewart. He's just passed Jimmy Spencer for 9th place. And that 20 car is flying up through the traffic.
But he's 5 seconds behind the leader, Bobby Labonte. That's the problem.
One other thing just to point out, we were talking about fuel mileage ago, a little while ago. That last caution and set of pit stops has taken that out of the equation, because the stops came with 101 laps to go, so everybody's going to have to stop one more time. And then they can make it to the finish from there.
Jimmy Johnson cannot get far enough alongside that 24.
Look at Junior's left side, right down below that line.
Oh, look at a little bit of a wiggle on the 18 there. Might be enough for Earnhardt to get him.
To the outside. Oh, then he cuts back across. Ricky Craven just back out of the garage area after repairs, and Bobby Labonte says go on.
Yeah, Bobby Labonte got a little bit loose up there in 3 and 4. That was all it took.
Matt? Dave referencing back to last weekend at Martinsville, when under a late caution, Jimmy Johnson was behind Jeff Gordon and talked about, well, I might have to rough him up a little, and Rick Hendrick came on the radio and said, let me tell you a story about a time when a couple of his team cars took each other out racing for the win. Basically saying, pass him clean, but don't rough him up.
Bobby Labonte taking a look on the low side of Earnhardt. Looks pretty good.
Boy, he was able to hold that thing low off the corner.
Yes, he did. And it looks like that 18 car can run wherever he wants. He's been up the top, he's been in the middle, he's been on the bottom.
So Bobby Labonte reassumes command. Junior back to second, Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson closing in as the 2 cars in front of them went side by side for that half a lap. And what about Tony Stewart? Mentioned he passed Jimmy Spencer for 9th place. Let's check the gap from the leader there, Bobby Labonte. Back to Tony Stewart. He's caught Robbie Gordon and Ryan Newman, and that'll be 8th and 7th that he's racing with next right in front of him. And just ahead of them, Kevin Harvick, 2nd place man of the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. Led, dominated the early part of the race, and he's about to go a lap down after getting pinched into the wall when Dave Blaney spun back at lap 201. So a championship opportunity to gain points on Matt Kenseth missed today for Harvick when he got swept up in an incident. By the way, Blaney has just retired his car for the race with that accident damage. He's going to finish 37th. Well, that's going to give Jeff Gordon a huge run at Bobby. Just getting hung side by side with Harvick exiting turn 2.
And also he picked up a big draft off of both those cars. 2 cars running side by side down the backstretch. Puts off a big draft.
So for the race lead, Gordon going to look down low.
Where he had been running high the last 4 laps.
Got to go where the other guy isn't. You can't go through him. Some drivers think that from time to time, but
can, but Bill, what are they saying about 24 right now? He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, he is getting ready to pit here too, Wally. But remember yesterday, we talked about how in practice here on Saturday, he ran several different lines all over this racetrack to find out which would be the best in certain situations. And I think he's using that to his advantage now.
And I think that high line is the one he needs to use, because that's the one that seems like he makes up all the time on Bobby.
If you're the 18, if you're Bobby, how much of the line you're choosing is purely based on your car? How much of it's based on what's going on in the mirror?
Oh, I don't think you're really worried about the guy in your mirror.
Well, he's not going to be in his mirror anymore. Jeff Gordon with a nose out in front at the start-finish line. 50 laps to go. But he hasn't finished the pass yet.
Well, but Bobby Labonte will pull back ahead now, going down the backstretch, because he's got the momentum.
Michael McSwain, fatback. Bobby Labonte's crew chief. Looking on, watching his car. and having to decide when to bring Labonte in for his final pit stop. We're going to start to see, as Bill said, going to start to see these pit stops for the leaders soon. They were last in at lap 224.
And what little changes they're going to make. They can't make big changes because they can't spend a lot of time on pit road, especially if it's under the green. So I'll probably see a lot of tire pressure changes. Maybe a track bar.
Gordon looking for the lead again to the inside. Has he got it this time?
Yep.
Jeff Gordon back out in front. Matt?
We are between 11 and 14 laps from the 18 making their final stop. Bobby Labonte hasn't said a word on the radio. No thought yet on what to do to that race car on that final stop to make it just a tick better.
And 5 laps to go. Greg Biffle's just taken his car to the garage. He'll be done for the day, shy of the checkered flag. All right, what's Kevin LePage's role here? Is he supposed to just move over and get out of the way and let these guys go by? He's last on the lead lap.
I would. I mean, you know, if you're not racing anybody, which he isn't, but he's running pretty fast right now, too. Uh-oh.
Trouble down the backstretch. It's Ryan Newman. Caution is out. And Newman's in trouble from 6th place. We have just passed the point at which the red flag would not be used to ensure a green flag finish of this one. So the question is, can they get Newman's car and any debris out of the way quickly? Jeff Gordon got another lap out of it because the pace car didn't get him until just now. And Newman's got enough damage on the left side of his car that he's not going anyplace. Dave?
Ryan radioed in that he was okay. Then they said, can you fire it up? And he said, yeah, we're running. Problem is he's not turning.
Yeah, he's got some pretty big damage to his left side.
Trying to get that car off the track so they can go back green.
He's racing with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
He just got aero loose right there in front of the 8 car. He slid up in front of the 8 car and the air got off the rear spoiler and turned himself around.
And so this race is going to finish under caution because the yellow came out after the point at which they would use the red flag to ensure a green finish.
And that's a happy man because of it.
Yes, it is. Tony Stewart never got a chance to mount a final charge, though he wasn't. Well, okay, maybe he is going to express his displeasure. Jeff Gordon is the winner in Atlanta.
Yeah, baby, 2 in a row. Come back 18 times. You are the man.
Well, it's the M.I. cricket letter coming around the south, rolling straight hammers and bows in that old southern south. Please, ain't nothing but incense in my atmosphere. I'm bending corners in my lag by, cause that's how we been rolling.